whatever you wish, we're ready to go.
All right, let's get started. Thank you guys for being on time. We'll go ahead and get started. Like to call this meeting to order. We'll start off with item 2, approve the agenda. Can I get a motion to approve our agenda?
Dr. Hooker, I'd like to make a motion we approve the agenda.
All right. And I see LaDuff raising his thumb saying second the motion, so we're good. All right, any discussion? There's no discussion. We'll move, all in favor, raise your hand by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
All right, and then the next part is to approve the minutes from the July 30th meeting. Hopefully you've had an opportunity to read through those. Can I get a motion to approve those minutes as well?
So moved.
All right,
Second.
all right, LaDuff second. Any discussion? No discussion. We'll move forward with the vote. All in favor? Can I get an aye? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All right, now, Dr. Gibney Sherman, we'll start off with you. Any public comment?
No requests, thank you.
Okay, we can move forward with your report, item 5.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Hooker. And thank you, board members, for attending this afternoon, and staff that are here as well. Staff, the roster is normal, nothing really outstanding there, just a normal coming in and out of Foothills. And so you've got the updated roster as well as the individuals that have been hired or they've resigned. The next piece you have are the graduates, and just keeping you aware. We have 27 as of September the 30th for this year, and that's really pretty good. You know, and last year we had more graduates than we did the year before, even with all the changes that we have. So we're feeling really good where we are standing with graduates. And so right now, since we opened in 2015, we have 2,628 graduates again as of September 30th. We are still moving down the track. And just a reminder, that number is going to really start dropping, because that includes all our enrollment students. We will not be able to count our program students in that number. And so just know that will be depressed as we go through in the current legislative status. Yeah, the student newsletter, those are always fun to highlight students and staff. And we've got a young lady from Baldwin who really did better than most. And then we have when Dallas, you'll recognize our second newsletter where we recognize Miss Ermy, who was a shared teacher between Barrow County and Foothills. And we did all we could to celebrate her and her life with us, and students really loved her, and she was an important part of our work. And so that was the focus for those 2 newsletters. And then you also have a summary of what we did in our summer retreat. And we invited the DOE to come and join us as well, because as you know, we're a CSI school. And Anthony Peck is our person that we work with. And he was most impressed with our work and is very supportive of everything that we're doing. And we feel very fortunate that he was assigned to us. So that's a summary of what happened this summer. And we do those newsletters for 2 reasons. One is to keep the public aware of where we are and what we're working on, and most importantly, to celebrate the students. So that's what you get to see there. And then the next, and I'm just moving right straight through, Robbie, if that's okay. All righty. Just looking at end of course, and again, remember, this is different, because we're only now responsible for the students that are called enrollment students. Program students, all those scores go back to the home district. So those are going to start looking very different. And you can see, you know, up until this point, we've only administered 112 into course, and you can see the results there. But we're still staying focused. We're still working on the content, and you can just see where we stand. We're getting ready for the winter graduations, and we have 2. one in our north campuses and our south campuses. December 9th at Bethlehem Church, which is in Barrow County, and December 12th, which is at Central High School in Macon, Georgia. And those are just to catch up the kids who didn't quite finish in the spring. So those are the dates, and if anyone's able to make it, we are always most welcome. And then our next item that we have that we wanted to share with you, and actually the author is here with us. Callan Moore won a special award, and we have an explanation there. She generated some documents that focused on mental health resources. And that content came from Dawn Myers, who is here, and she works with our 2 mental health coordinators who work with all of our staff. And what they did is developed site-specific resources for all of our communities. And then Callan tailored it per community, and it won an award with her group that she works on with public information officers. And their quality materials, and you might remember, superintendents, that we passed those out to you. We removed our logo so you could use your own for your own community if you wish. And Dawn provided the content, and Callan made it look right. And we could not be more proud of that. So that's an award that we got on behalf of, it's called GSPRA, Georgia School Public Relations Association. So that's a big honor. And so I hope that you've been able to use those in your school districts. Now I'm going to stop before I go into this discussion. Are there any questions or comments, or Callan or Dawn, did you want to say anything?
I'll just add and congratulate all of the superintendents on the call, because your districts were also recognized with these awards as well for their work. And I believe Jackson County brought home a Best in Category award as well. So I hope y'all have celebrated your PR professionals as well, because you were all represented at the state level. So congratulations.
Thank you. And congratulations to you and Dawn Myers for doing such great work. All right, let's move to discussion items.
Okay, thank you, Robbie. Moving to discussion, first we'll have our financial report, and we'll have Bonnie deliver that, please.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. We've got a bunch of financial attachments here, but it's items that you've seen before for the most part, or just informational. So I'll just run through them, and if you have any questions, just stop me. You know, I'm a fast talker. So attachment 9A is just the final June 30th financials. And so you've got the revenue to expenditures, not a lot of changes from what you've seen before, just the accruals and just a few final transactions that we put in place before we filed our state report. You've got our standard grants listing of the $7.5 million or so we collected in federal grants last year, donated funds of $27,000 that we show you the donated funds at the end of every year. And at the end of every year, we show you any sole source purchases that we did. Most of those were in the software area, and they were just continuing software packages that we already had in place. And then the last sheet that we show at year end that may be of interest to you is what we call our community impact report. And it shows the amount of dollars that we put back into your communities by hiring your staff, just based on salaries and benefits. And it was over $14 million this past year for FY24. So that was good stuff, good work. So any questions about FY24? I'm ready to move on to FY25. FY25 is financials are in attachment 9B, and you've got the statement for July, August, and September, since we haven't met since then. And so I'll just focus on September, and you can see that everything is in line. We received about 23% of our revenues with 25% of the year completed, and we've only expended about 19% of our budget. So we're in good shape. And then also attached is the normal grants listing. You'll see it starting again for FY25. The funds consolidation sheet, because you know we consolidate most of our federal funds. So most of the funds you see on the grants listing are actually included in this front page financial report, because they're merged with our state and local revenues. And then the last page, well, that's it for the July through September financials, just those 2 pages, and I've got all of the investment summaries and things that we used to include for you. If you would like to see them, just let me know. We just don't attach them now to make the board agenda so big. At 9C is actually just a copy of our benefits guide. We just share it with the board every year just to let you know that we're in open enrollment, just like y'all are. Everybody's looking at state health, and then this guide is all of the benefits that we offer outside of state health, very competitive to a traditional school district with life and vision and dental and cancer and all of those kind of benefits, just like y'all have, but we just like to present it to you for a matter of information. And then finally, the thing to celebrate a little bit, I guess, is attachment 9D. Our audit for FY24 is done. And there were no findings. That in the audit report that's attached, you'll see on page 58. But what I did want to point out, especially with our new legislation of House Bill 87 and all of the discussion around our large fund balance, on page 13, you'll see that our fund balance is down to 26.3 million, and it was a little over 30 million at the end of last year. So audited, we used 3.69 million of our fund balance this year. So we are decreasing the fund balance. And Sherry and I have very quickly looked at the projection. If revenues were to stay the same, expenditures very similar, to get to that 15% that and the auditors say is the state law you should have in your fund balance, we would have about another 5 years without having to do something drastic to increase revenues. Any questions?
Okay. You want,
Oh, unemployment report, sorry. So that's just the standard report that you get each month, and you can see that we're continuing to get funds back. They're dwindling in, and but I think the major portion of that project is over. But we're getting closer to the number that we paid and have paid us back. So we're still actively working it.
yeah, and I feel really good about that because that was a mess across the nation. And we were able to help our employees to get resources until they could make it whole with their payment from the federal government. And they have come forward and paid like they should. And we did our part in helping them get through that time that was very uncomfortable for a lot of people. So that was good work, and I thank the board for approving that and allowing us to help our people. Now, the next part, I'm going to ask Colin Dale to give us some information and give you an update. And I call it the legislative update because House Bill 87 totally changed our operations. But what hasn't changed is our quality of service to our students. In fact, I think it's gotten stronger. And so, but you need to be aware of what is happening due to legislation and what we're doing toward this next session to hopefully have an impact. We are still working with Toby Carr, who is our lobbyist. And those of you, actually, just Norris was not there. This morning, Toby was with us for the meeting with Chris Irwin and Houston Gaines and Frank Inn. And we are continuing to work to bring down the age of those students that can count as enrollment students. That effort has not changed. We're looking at different strategies and ways to kind of focus that work. But for your information, you need to know, and Dale will tell you, we had to change his job duties drastically, and where he is working with the liaison from all of our systems to make sure we can make it as smooth as possible for us as well as our partner districts. So he's going to share with you where we have the MOUs, what we're doing to recruit students so that we can maintain what Bonnie was just talking about, because we have to have students or it doesn't work. And so Dale, if you would just kind of give an overview, if you would, of where we are.
Sure thing. The first item under the legislative update is an update on our MOUs. We have MOUs now with 21 districts. Particularly with growing down into Middle Georgia and Griffin, Risa. We recognized and you supported a need to engage a couple of very well-respected folks in our state to help develop partnerships in those two RESAs, Rob Brown and Nathan Franklin. And so we're very thankful for your support on that. Just giving you a brief update. We did have 20 MOUs. Now we are up to 21 because of Pike County. We do have an agreement with Pike that was signed within the last month or so, and we have 5 students who we're serving through our 100% virtual site from Pike. We have a meeting tomorrow in Newton County. We're going down to visit a location where they're considering opening a new Foothills site, which is very exciting. We've had conversations with Rockdale County, and they're not quite ready to sign an MOU, but we are partnering to re-engage some of their dropouts who are 18 and over. And so we're working closely with them, and we've met with Fayette County. And so Pike, we partnered with Rob Brown to build that relationship. The other 3, we partnered with Nathan Franklin to develop that. So we've been working really hard to grow into those additional 2 RESAs where we don't have quite as large of a presence. We've also invested in our recruitment efforts within our existing footprint with our existing partners as well. Back in July, you supported hiring Allison Cunningham, who is our regional student recruitment facilitator. And she's been doing a really jam-up job with engaging with students, families, but also staff members at our partner districts. And so she has directly enrolled 99 new students since beginning, which is great because I'll go into enrollment in a minute. We're down about 20% since pre-House Bill 87 days. We know that the need for Foothills and a non-traditional option is not decreased. And so any of those students we're able to re-engage is a great thing. But also indirectly, she's held lots of events and she's been working dropout lists, sending mailers in order to get those students in. So I know that her impact is even greater than those 99 students that she worked with directly. Just last night, she held an event in Elbert County where the resident district staff members came in and toured the Foothills site so that they had a better understanding of what they were recommending their students to do at Foothills. And so that was a great experience for them. Tomorrow, she is at the Butts site, and she actually has representatives from Butts County, Pike County, and Griffin-Spalding who are going to go in and tour the Foothills location. So again, they get a better idea of what we're doing and how we're positively impacting students. A big part of her work is involves requesting and working, as we call it, the dropout lists. That includes emails, postcards, and phone calls. And we've had a number of our partner districts share those dropout lists with us: Walton, Barrow, Baldwin, Clark, Oglethorpe, Madison, Pike, and Elbert. Again, these are students who have dropped out from those resident districts, and it benefits them certainly, but all of us in your whole community to get those students re-engaged. And so we're really thankful for Allison and all of the efforts that she's putting forward to get students back on the path toward earning their high school diploma. Also, as far as our FTE from 2024 goes, if you look at the pre-House Bill 87 days and the March of that last count, we were at 2,543 students enrolled. This October, we haven't signed off yet because the deadline was pushed back, but we are down to 2,037 students, FTEs. And so that's down about 506 or 20%, which is a significant decrease in student participation. And so again, we know that the need for the model has not decreased, but the FTEs are. And so our focus is on re-engaging those students, getting them in if they need a non-traditional option to earn their diploma. Anyone have any questions or comments? I cover everything.
Thank you, Dale. And so this is not casual work, and Dale now hosts quarterly meetings, like trainings for the liaisons for each one of our partner districts to make sure they're clear on what their task is and how we need to work together, particularly when it gets time for FTE and invoicing, and then Bonnie being able to send a proper invoice with students to align properly. So that's a heavy lift, and I appreciate all the work that Dale has done to make this work, because we had to make it up.
And also I'll add, we appreciate all of the work that your staff members are doing, because this is not an easy task for them either. It's something on top of their other responsibilities. So thank you all for that.
Thank you. All right, we'll move forward. We did a safety review, and George Bullock is going to give you a report, and it's going to be really brief. It doesn't represent all the work that he's done, but we're in line with everyone else, taking another hard look at everything we do safety-wise. And so George is going to share what he found and what our next steps are. This is George Bullock, who is our new Regional Director for Operations.
Good afternoon, everyone. John Skinner is also on the phone, who on the call. He was instrumental in, as we traveled to all the sites to kind of do a safety review, and we kind of pulled together some takeaways. And like Dr. Sherry Gidney Sherman said, there's a lot more to this than just these 6 bullet points. What we did realize, though, is site directors, assistant site directors were sharing their safety procedures and utilizing the My EOP. So we were very pleased to hear that. We're also, we began to explore how we can further include all the sites with Centegics. When John and I first started this, only 8 of our districts were already using Centegics. Since we completed our visits, 4 more have either purchased it or are in the process of purchasing it. So now we're up to 12 of our 16. And our Centegics representative, which we've met with once and we will meet with again soon, he is investigating what those sites or those districts' plans are for the future. So hopefully, if it's not Centegics, there will be another alert system that we can engage with them. And so the Centegics rep, he is working on a way that we can piggyback on the existing systems. So we will begin to have conversations with each of those home districts to figure out what technology might be needed for that. We also realized that sites needed a better way to communicate on any given moment. And so we realized that there was a need for radios to be used to communicate with all staff. So we're in the process of inventorying what they have and what we need to do to allow them to communicate more efficiently than word of mouth, text, and email. All the sites are already aware of the calendar that Mr. Skinner provides. And so what we're doing is we're just recommending some specific ways to use that calendar in terms of alternating the nights in which they do a particular drill, because we know that not every student and every staff member is at the site every single night. So the only way that we're able to see that all participate in these drills if we alternate those nights. And then each site is going to include a safety moment within their faculty meetings. That may be something that we're just sharing for the first time, or it may be something that they just want to review as a reminder, or maybe something that they've noticed glows and grows within their particular sites. Many of the sites began to make logistical moves already. After the visits, we had some conversations. They're moving some classrooms, or at least working with the host schools to move some classrooms, to look at how they are utilizing the potential of locking certain hallway doors, requesting curtains for outer windows, and the use of some storage facilities that could be a duck and cover area if the need were to arise. So those are our big takeaways. There's a lot more to that, like Dr. Sherry said. Mr. Skinner, do you feel like I have left anything out at this point?
No, sir.
The message here, Robbie, is that we're on it and we're looking at everything. And for us, we need to tie into what our partner district is doing. So it may be 22 different safety plans, honestly, because every building in every district is very different in how they handle safety. So, but I feel really comfortable that we've, laid the picture out, and now we're just going back and figuring out where we need to fill it in.
All right, Mr. Bullock and to Mr. Skinner, thank you for that detailed report, and you're correct. And the upgrades that some of the systems are making to ensure that all of our students are safe during their time doing Foothills. I appreciate the thorough report you gave. Thank you.
Thank you, Robbie. I'll move forward. We have a policy revision that came out of legislation, and it's just the accounting and reporting. And so we need to just put that out on the table. And so that's attached. And then we also attached our 4 handbooks: business operations, federal programs, program student, which is one again from House Bill 87, and special education. And those are there just for your information. And then, Robbie, I do need a quick executive session to explain something that happened over the break.
Okay, that sounds great. Can Mr. Leo get us into a
Yes,
room? Okay,
yes,
He's prepared to do that.
I
okay.
would open a room for the board members in conference room, Dr. Sherry Gibney Sherman, Dale, and Bonnie to join. Opening that room right now. Everybody else can stay in.
All right, so we're going into executive session to discuss personnel, correct?
Can we have a motion from a board member to go into executive session?
Well, maybe they never.
I'm sorry, who? I couldn't hear. Who made the motion?
Yeah, we needed to make a motion. Hold on.
Okay.
They were moved.
Okay, well, we'll do it. We'll get in there.
Can we just leave?
Um, Possibly if you're done, I guess so.
Yeah, I'm done. That's all I had, that brief
All right.
little bit.
Good to see you, George.
All right, see you, Leo. Tell Britton I said, hey,
I will. See you.
thank you. See y'all.
You gonna stick around, Callan, till the end?
I reckon. I'm just working over here, so.
I know, I just want to get home in time to jump on. I'm from 5 to 8 straight through tonight.
Oh,
So I'm at the regional office now. It's always a race. Like if I don't
Oh.
leave now, then I'm here till 9 o'clock. So I gotta get home.
That should be done in a few minutes after this. Looks like
I-
action items, and then it's adjourned.
Yeah.
are you still
I know.
live streaming this, Leah?
Yes, I am. We'll be quiet.
Can you tell if anyone's watching?
Says two concurrent views.
Okay, Robbie, if we can have somebody make a motion to, for the consent action items.
I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda items as presented.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you.
I missed it. What did we just do? I missed it. I'm just getting back.
Okay, you have two motions, Robbie. Philip made the first motion and then Dallas made the second to approve the consent action items.
All right, any discussion?
So it's principals appreciation. We have to buy some gift cards that goes to the foundation.
Okay, I think Doris is talking to a person. All right.
I'm sorry, I apologize.
Nope, you're fine. All right, so we're no discussion, let's take all in favor by saying aye. Aye. All right, good.
Aye.
So, all right, do I get to move on to item 9? Do I get a motion to adjourn? Can I get a vote?
So moved.
All right, so move that
Second,
one.
Norris.
All right, no discussion, all in favor by saying aye. Thank you, guys. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Take care.
I thank you, board. We appreciate you.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So PSD